Pulling off the work off the web, told him what's up, let's log. Busting all the pencils out of the box. I just hit a bump with the task, had to reach out to teach, okay. Complete the whole lesson, don't be lazy. I got the dopest teach, we've been working like crazy. This class is Hondo P. Keep your grades up. Told them thirsty for an A. Say what? Tech learning is lit, you know. Working PJs, and I really wanna know where you at. Thought you guys might enjoy a little TikTok in your math videos. Okay, so those lyrics were written by Megan Hansen, because she's amazing. I would love to take credit for them, but I'm not that good. So let's go ahead and get started. Today we are doing the 7th grade. We are doing problems 1 through 11 in your FSA practice. And the reason why we are still doing FSA practice, even though we are not having FSA, it is because we are covering all of the standards that we've covered this whole year, and it is more of a review for your 8th grade year coming up. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, question 1 says, what is 3/4 written as a decimal? When we have a fraction, it is simply a division problem. So really all we're doing is we are dividing 3 divided by 4. Now, of course, if you have a calculator, this is super easy to punch into a calculator. Number 2, this is a pretty easy one to know off the top of your head. But if you don't know this off the top of your head and you don't have a calculator, here's how you'll solve it. You're going to put the top number in the house, always. Your top number always goes in the house. Divided by your bottom number. 4 cannot go into 3. That is correct. So you're going to put a 0, a decimal, and then you're going to annex a 0. 4 can go into 30. It goes into 30 7 times. 7 times 4 is 28. We're going to subtract 30 minus 28 gives us 2. We're going to annex another 0 and bring it down. 4 goes into 20 5 times. 5 times 4 is 20. Subtract and we get 0. So our answer is 0 75/100. Be sure to write all of this down if you don't have it correct, and pause this video at any time you need to slow things down or write things down. Okay, it says this bag contains 6 red, 4 blue, 7 yellow, and 3 green marbles. 1 marble is pulled out of the bag. Which of the following probabilities is correct? Select all that apply. First of all, we need to know our total because that is going to be our denominator here. So our total is if we added all these up. So basically it's 6 plus 4 plus 7 plus 3. And when you add all of these numbers together, you will get 20. 20 is your total number of marbles. Oops, misspelled total. It's not 2 L's, it's just 1. We'll put an exclamation point. Okay. Which of the following probabilities is correct? So let's check this out. We're talking about red here. So to figure out what the probability for red is, we know that red has 6. So we're going to put 6 over the total amount, which is 20. And then we're just going to reduce from there. You can also just go ahead and divide it. To make this a little bit faster, I'm going to use a calculator here. Okay? You could totally do this if you didn't have a calculator. You would just put, again, the top number in the house and divide. So 6 divided by 20, and that's going to give me 0.3. So this one is not correct. Okay, the next one says red or blue. So red is 6 and blue is 4. And then we have that over, again, the total amount, which is 20. So 6 plus 4 does give us 10, and 10 divided by 20 does give us 0.5 or 50%. So this one is correct. Yay! Okay, black. As we can see up here, we have no black. So black would actually be 0% because it's 0% of you getting a black if there's no black to get. Okay, so this is incorrect because this says 1/10. Or 10%. D says yellow. So yellow, there is a yellow here. There are 7, but again, our total is out of 20. So 7/20 is not the same as 7/10. So that is not correct. Are there any whites up here? No, there are no white marbles. So the percentage of getting a white marble is 0%. Oh man, never mind. Sorry. When I do the eraser, sometimes it doesn't work right. Okay, sorry. 0% for getting a white marble. So this is correct. Okay, and then blue is 1/5. So let's see, we've got 4 blue. add up 20 total, and then if we reduce this by dividing the top and bottom numbers by the same thing, 4 divided by 4 gives us 1, 20 divided by 4 gives us 5, so this is correct. Okay, so your answer choice should have been B, E, and F for this one. Okay, it says, Michaela paid for 5 pounds of candy with a $10 bill. She received $2.50 in change. How much was the candy per pound? There are many different ways to get this answer, and your parents would probably get the answer a little bit differently than we do. And I'm going to do it the way that the school's going to do it. Your parents, they are totally correct in telling you another way to do it because there are many different ways. The reason why I'm about to show you this way is because it is going to help you when you get into the 8th grade. Okay, so what we want to do is we wanted to start out with that $10 bill because that's our beginning, right? And what we want to take away from that, because we're buying something, we are getting rid of that money, right? So we are taking it away, and that is going to be 5 pounds of candy. We don't know how much right now that price is, so we're going to put a variable for X. And then when we get our answer, it's going to be the change that we will receive in the end. So 10 minus those 5 pounds of candy per how many dollars those pounds of candy are will give us our change, which is $2.50. So to solve this, sorry, I can't draw a straight line. Okay, to solve this, we want to start with the 10. This 10 is a positive 10. So in order to get rid of this positive 10, we want to do the opposite of a positive, and we want to subtract it from both sides. Okay, and this is going to cancel because 10 minus 10 is 0, and we are left with negative 5x equals 250 minus 10, which gives us negative 750. And then right now, x is being multiplied times negative 5, so the opposite of multiplying by negative 5, because to solve for variables, we have to do the opposite to undo it. So the opposite of multiplying by negative 5 is dividing both sides by negative 5. This cancels because negative 5 divided by negative 5 is a positive 1, and 1 times x is simply x. And then negative $7.50 divided by a negative 5 gives us $1.50. If you did not know that off the top of your head, you are more than welcome to put $7.50 in the house and divide it by 5. Remember, a negative divided by a negative is a positive, so our answer is going to be a positive answer here. Okay, you could also put that into a calculator if you were given a calculator on this question. Okay, so our answer here is each pound of candy was $1.50. You could always come back and check your answer on this one by taking our original equation, which was not a 2 but a 5, sorry, and multiplying it by $1.50, and then taking that amount away from 10 and seeing if it is equal to $2.50. This does check out, so it is $1.50 per pound. All right, number 4 says, the local news reported there is a 3/5 chance of rain Thursday. How likely is it that it will rain on Thursday? Okay, so I look at probability here, like if we've got this line, okay? And this is 0, which means it's never going to happen. There's 0% chance. And here's 100%, right? And if we're talking in fifths, this would be 5 out of 5, because 5 out of 5 is 1, or 100%. Okay, so in between here, we've got 1/5, we've got 2/5, we've got 3/5, we've got 4/5, and then we've got 5/5, okay? The middle is actually here. I know I did not draw this to scale, and I'm terrible at drawing, so my bad. But this is 50%, even though it doesn't look like it, right? And so if you can see the 3/5, and I wrote 3/4 because, you know, why wouldn't I get this right on the first try? So this is 3/5 here, and this is where we're talking about. And if you can see, it is more on the likely side than the unlikely side. It is closer to 100% than it is to 0%. So let's look at our answer choices. It is unlikely it will rain on Thursday. That is not true because it is more likely than unlikely. It is likely it will rain on Thursday. Okay, I like that one. Let's double check though. It is certain to rain on Thursday. Certain means it's going to happen, so that's not going to happen because it's not 100%. D says it is neither likely nor unlikely. That would be your 50% mark. Okay, if it's neither likely nor unlikely, it is exactly 50%, which is not the case either. So our answer choice for this one is B. Okay, which of the following shows an obtuse scalene triangle? Well, first of all, there is only one triangle here that shows an obtuse angle, and that is B, so it's definitely B. But remember, scalene, first of all, let's talk about obtuse. Obtuse means that the angle is greater than 90 degrees. Okay, so this angle is greater than 90 degrees. And then a scalene means that none of the sides are the same. So scalene, no sides are the same size. And this is obtuse, which is greater than 90 degrees. Okay. Number 6. Which of the following is equivalent to 3/4? So remember, we have to think back to 6th grade when we were multiplying with fractions, right? 1 times 6, we multiply straight across also. 1 times 6 gives us 6, and 2 times 4 gives us 8. If we reduce this by dividing these both by 2, 6 divided by 2 gives us 3, and 8 divided by 2 gives us 4. So this is correct. It does say select all apply, so it's going to be more than just A. We have 18 divided by 27, and to put this in fraction form so it'll be a little bit easier than us, we're going to put 18 over 27. 9 will go into both of these, so we will divide them both by 9. 18 divided by 9 gives us 2. 27 divided by 9 gives us 3, so that is not correct. Here we are multiplying again straight across. 3 times 1 is 3. 8 times 4 gives us 32. And a negative times a negative is a positive. So that is not correct because 3 over 32 is not the same as 3 over 4. Okay, here 36 divided by 48. There are a few things that you can reduce this with, but a lot of us will see that, well, let's start out with 4. 4 will go into both of these. 36 divided by 4 gives us 9, and 48 divided by 4 gives us 12. And then we can see that this can be reduced again by 3. And 9 divided by 3 gives us 3, and 12 divided by 3 gives us 4. So this does equal 3/4. And this last one, we just need to give this negative 9 a denominator of 1, and then multiply straight across. 9 times 1 gives us 9. And 1 times 12 gives us 12, and a negative times a negative gives us a positive. And 9/12, as we saw in the answer above, does reduce down to 3/4 because you could divide both of these by 3. So this is 3/4 as well, even though it looks like an 8 because writing on this thing is difficult. Okay, I'm going to blame my technology, all right? So 3/4, that made it worse. Okay, moving on. Okay, number 7. Melissa is buying a new pair of jeans. The expression 0.07 times J represents the sales tax on the jeans. So that's 7% sales tax. Okay, where J represents the price of the jeans. By what number can Melissa multiply the price of the jeans to find the total amount she will need to pay for them, including the sales tax? Well, we know that this is what the sales tax is, but again, she has to pay for also 100% of the jean, right? So she's got to pay for the price of the jean and then the sales tax as well. So this is the sales tax and this is the price of the jean because 1 is equal to 100%. Okay, and when we add those together, we get 1 7/100 J. So the total amount that you will need to pay for them will be 1 7/100 times J. Oh, also I guess I should write this under rating. 100%. Okay, and then this is the sales tax, okay, which is 7%. So technically you're paying for 107% of the gene. Okay, number 8. A spinner is divided into red, yellow, blue, and green sections. The table below shows the outcomes after the spinner is spun 100 times. So they did give us that. The total is 100. So we didn't have to add all these up together. Based on the data from the table, what is the estimated probability? So it's the same thing as experimental. Experimental probability the spinner will land on blue. Okay, so there's 28 blue ones out of 100 total. 28 over 100 is simply 28%. Oh man, there we go. Sorry. 20, okay, really? 28%. So 28% would be a fine probability answer, but if we wanted to write it as a decimal form, it would be 28 100ths, or as a fraction form, 28 over 100, but that can also be reduced by dividing these both by 4. And 28 divided by 4 gives me 7. 100 divided by 4 gives me 25. So 7 over 25. Okay, the average low temperature for Minneapolis, Minnesota for the past 5 years is shown in the table below. What is the change in average low temperature in degrees? Okay, so if it wants the change, okay, we need to see what the change is in between all of these numbers. So we've got -6 plus -8 plus, not minus, -5 plus 2 plus -3. -6 plus -8 gives us -14. Or -4, no, -14. -14 plus -5 is -19. -19 plus 2 is -17. And -17 plus -3 gives us -20. So the change is -20 degrees. Okay, what is 1/3 written as a decimal? Again, to do this, we are just going to divide the top number by the bottom number. This is another one that you probably should know in your head. But if you don't and you don't have a calculator, again, we can put the top number in the house and divide by the bottom number. 3 cannot go into 1, so we put a decimal and annex a 0. 3 goes into 10 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract and we get 1. Annex another 0 and bring it down. 3 goes into 10 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract and we get 1. Notice a pattern is developing, right? So we could keep going on and on and on and on, but it would really never end because this is a repeating decimal. So this is written as a decimal. 3/10 with a bar notation over the 3 representing that it is a repeating decimal. Okay, and here's the last one. Woohoo! We made it. An apple pie is evenly shared between Noah and Hunter. Yesterday, Noah ate 1/2 of his share of the pie. What percentage of the pie has Noah eaten? So here's our pie. Yummy. Okay, so they're splitting a whole pie, which is a lot of food. I mean, I could probably do it, but it's a lot of food. So, Noah had half of his share. So he didn't, this is all Noah's share over here on the side, right? But he didn't eat the whole thing of his share. He ate half of his share. This is half of his share. And notice that if we cut half of Hunter's as well, there are 4 pieces here. So if Noah ate half of his, okay, he ate 1 out of these 4 pieces. So he ate 1/4, and 1/4 as a percentage is 25%. Remember, percents are out of 100. So if we were changing this to be over 100, we would need to multiply times 25 and multiply times 25 And that's how we get 25 over 100, or 25%. Okay, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys are doing well at home. If you have any questions, feel free to ask your teachers. You can always holler at me too. I'm Miss West, for those of you that don't know. Pretty awesome. Just kidding. Okay, bye.